With these big ass ears I got and that big ass head he got, I can hear them thoughts. He not confident, man. Tomorrow night, he getting knocked out.
All for your winner by unanimous decision, the Nigerian Nightmare!
I can't imagine how he will beat me. How? He can hold me?
That was just crazy.
Okay, maybe he will take me down one time, but he have to hold me there. He can't.
Nasty right for Dvalishvili late. Play into the crowd.
And still!
2025 has been absolutely ruthless. Champions folded, hype trains derailed, and cocky contenders got a one-way ticket back to reality. But today, we're not just talking about any upsets. We're diving into the most satisfying ones. Let's relive the chaos and the downfall of some very loud mouths. This is the most satisfying UFC upsets of 2025, and trust me, you're gonna love this ride. Number 5, Payton Talbott. Ah yes, this compilation couldn't have started with anyone but Payton. Next big thing, Talbott, a walking zesty highlight reel. Charisma? Off the charts. Record? Flawless. Before January 2025, he was 9-0 with just one fight going the distance. This guy was finishing people like he was on a deadline. He danced into the UFC through Dana White's Contender Series in 2023 and immediately started slicing through bantamweights like a hot knife through butter, while not forgetting to pole dance and dress like I won't even dress my girlfriend. And then UFC 311 happened. Enter Raoni Barcelos, a seasoned Brazilian vet with a chin made of granite and very solid grappling game. Most people expected the zesty beast to steamroll the poor Brazilian.
You are 25 years old, the world is your oyster, you're such a prospect right now, and you're in an incredibly talent-rich division. To have so much hype behind you.
Heck, some of my colleagues were already talking about title contention.
What is Payton's dream matchup in the UFC? You guys know this. It's that curly-headed guy, Sean O'Malley.
But that Payton Talbott kid,
he's sick to watch. I watched him on the Contender.
One of these days I'm gonna get up there. You guys will see it.
But Raoni had the other plans. For 3 rounds, Talbott got exposed in ways his fans weren't ready to see. His grappling holes, wide open. His wrestling defense, non-existent. Barcelos took him to school and made him look like a youngster making his MMA debut. And yeah, it wasn't a beatdown, but it was surgical, and it left Talbott's undefeated record in pieces. So what did we learn? You can have power, hype, model looks, and swagger. But if you can't wrestle, MMA is not for you, especially in the shark tank that is the UFC's bantamweight division. Yeah, I know that the kid's still young. He's got time, and if he can utilize it properly with all his natural gifts, he's still got a long way to go. But this was a brutal reminder that hype doesn't win fights, skills do. Number 4, Joaquin Buckley. June 14th, 2025, UFC Atlanta, the night it all flipped. The long-awaited comeback of the once great, still boring, and kinda overrated Kamaru Usman. And he wasn't facing just anybody. Oh no. He was matched up with a certified killer, the man who has finished Colby Covington on short notice, the ghetto menace himself, Joaquin Buckley. Ever since dropping to welterweight, Numansa has been an absolute problem. He turned a sloppy 5-4 middleweight record into a 6-fight win streak, looking like a whole different monster.
Right now, I feel like I'm not trying to celebrate one. I want one more. If the UFC bless me, I just want one more at the end of the year, and I would love if Usman would step in that cage with me. So I feel like I shouldn't celebrate yet.
Meanwhile, Kamaru was entering this fight on a 3-fight losing streak, hadn't fought in 2 years, and honestly, people thought he was cooked. And let's be honest, on paper, this fight looked like a funeral.
I'm gonna show them, there's gonna be a night-day difference with Hamzat's performance over Kamaru Usman and then my performance that I'm gonna have.
I don't know about his health and nothing like that, but mentally, and then he just saw his brother get put down, right? But Nasty went out there and just put Izzy out. Kamaru Usman just seen that. right? And he know he next.
Because there's nobody that fights like me. I see the guys that Kamaru Usman he's training with. He's not going to be prepared for what he sees when he step out into the octagon.
With these big ass ears I got and that big ass head he got, I can hear them thoughts. He not confident, man. Tomorrow night he getting knocked out.
Buckley was radiating confidence, talking mad trash, saying he'd knock Usman out and go knock on Islam's door next.
So once I beat Kamaru Usman, there is no debate, there is no back and forth, there is no argument. We up next. And you already know you got this guy from 155 coming up thinking he gonna take my spot. Nah, we can't have it. I truly believe that Islam gotta sit back and just wait for me to get my title, because I will be the hardest fight that Islam has. He's not gonna out wrestle me. He's not gonna submit me. I've never been submitted. And he definitely not gonna stand on the feet with me. And especially with myself, he definitely gonna run from a person like me.
He wasn't just talking the talk, he was walking the walk every fight. So with that kind of momentum and that kind of heat, everyone was asking, does the old man even stand a chance? Spoiler alert, yes. Yes, he does.
Tomorrow night, he's gonna be no different. I'm gonna put him away.
Listen, I still think the fight itself was kinda boring, but I'd be a damn fool to pretend it wasn't a total masterclass by Usman. The Nigerian nightmare came back in full force that night. Vintage Usman, the guy who used to grind contenders into dust. And what did he do this time? 13 minutes of control, a new personal record. He tripled Buckley in strikes. He shut down every threat. No drama, no chaos. Just absolute domination from bell to bell. New Mansa got absolutely nullified. Usman turned back the clock and reminded everybody that he's still got it. Now look, some people are already saying Buckley's a bust. Men, relax. This might be the lesson that levels him up. Even during the fight, Joaquin started making key adjustments. By round 5, he was stuffing takedowns and even putting pressure on Usman. He's young, he's hungry, and he's gonna be back, trust that. But on this night, it was the vet who taught the prospect what a real elite fighter looks like.
You know, I know it's a running joke. Everybody want to get on the internet and talk. Oh, his knees. Well, shut the up. I can still do what I do.
Number 3, Sharabutdin Magomedov. Better known as Shara Bullet or Shara Magomedov, the striking savage. The man with a glass eye and a golden shin. Shara took the UFC by storm. Debuted in late 2023 with a perfect 11-0 record. Within months, he was already fighting in the co-main events of big fight nights, spinning and kicking his way into fans' hearts and onto every highlight reel in existence. Then came UFC 308, October 2024. The Dagestani lands a double spinning back fist. Yes, double, on Armen Petrosyan. Knockout of the Year candidate, and Shara's hype reached critical mass. So what do you do when you're stock soaring? You fight someone truly dangerous. Enter Michael Venom Page, a striking enigma, a taekwondo lunatic, a walking puzzle in human form. February 1st, 2025. Same card where Imavov shockingly put Israel Adesanya to sleep. Shara versus MVP, 2 men who has PhD in striking in one wild cage. And guess what? Page didn't just win, he made Shara look average, not even bad, average. 3 rounds of pure control, movement, timing. It was a clinic. 0 no more. The hype dented, but not dead. Because hey, if King of the Bare Knuckles Mike Perry had some problems with MVP in the stand-up, we can't roast such a newbie in terms of MMA as Shara too hard. Still, for a guy hyped as the next big striking sensation, this was a painful reality check.
Вчера я не был самим собой, то я могу быть в клетке. 30% меня только там было, к сожалению. Я взял риск на себя.
Number 2, Bo Nickal.
Hamzat Chimaev. You're saying that his wrestling is pretty mid.
It's trash. I won't even say mid. We're going to fight at some point, and people will realize that there's levels. It's weird because Dricus won, finish in kind of an exciting fashion, but was not impressed at all.
Oh boy, if you've been on MMA Twitter in the past year, you know this one stinks. Bo was supposed to be the second coming of GSP, mixed with Kurt Angle. The wrestling prodigy, they said. Untouchable, future champ, and to be fair, he looked the part when he was steamrolling regional nobodies. Then came Paul Craig. A test, at least kind of. Bo won, but not convincingly, and that's when whispers started.
I was able to take a guy who's a veteran of the sport, dominate him for 15 minutes, shut him out. He didn't have any big moments in that fight. I feel like I, showcased a lot of development and
Then came May 3rd, 2025. The cocky American was going to face Reinier de Ridder. You know, that former ONE FC champ. That guy with actual grappling credentials. This was supposed to be a statement for Bo.
I expect to win this fight. I don't know if it'll be a finish or if it'll be a decision. Regardless of the result, I'm focused on giving 100% effort from the first bell to the last. And really, that's all I can control, right? I can't control my opponent. I can't control anything else. Can't control the crowd. Can't control the ref. All I can control is me. So, the only thing I can go do is come to this opportunity with a lot of gratitude and maximum effort.
But instead, it became a warning sign, because guess what happened? The much-hyped representative of overrated American wrestling, which in reality isn't even fit to lace the boots of Caucasus wrestlers, couldn't get a takedown. Let me repeat, Bo the Wrestling God Nickal, NCAA wrestler, couldn't get a single takedown. Not once.
His biggest thing that's going to crush him, especially against a fight against me, is you're going to get tired. You're going to go like this, and I'm going to go like this as the fight goes on. You're not going to take me down. You're going to have to strike with me. I'm probably going to be able to take you down. And the longer the fight goes, the worse it's going to get.
And as it was said by a wise man, be careful of what you wish for. Nickal's own prophecy turned against him, and after just one round of failed wrestling attempts, Bo was brutally knocked out by a vicious knee and finally came crashing down from the heavens, tasting his first professional defeat. And that's the thing about hype trains. When they crash hard. I wish I could say he's still young and that with the right mindset, Bo could bounce back and become a real threat to the division. And to be fair, for a moment, it actually seemed like he was coming to terms with this humbling loss.
I think that now, having looked back, that I wasn't as prepared as I thought, and there was a lot of things that I could have done better prior to, and a lot of things that I could have focused on and done differently. That's great, that's something that I can look at and I can take from that experience and change moving forward.
But just a few days later, this genius opened his mouth and dropped the following statement.
For me, I look at that and all I say is just like, suck my dick. At the end of the day, say what you want, but when I get back on top and when I'm the freaking champion of the world, you all come crawling back. They always do. And I'll spit right in your face. Bo, come give me an interview, blah, blah, blah.
Where were you?
Where were you? And guess what? I'm going to say, okay, come over here. Loogie right between the eyes.
Keep going like this, buddy, and you might just break Tony Ferguson's legendary losing streak. Except you'll be doing it outside the UFC octagon, my friend. Number 1. Umar Nurmagomedov.
Doesn't matter for me who gonna be next. Just give me title shot. I'm here. Now guys, talk. How I did beat nobody. Now you can cry. I'm coming for you.
The number 1 spot in lists like this will forever be reserved for my personal favorite. At the start of 2025, this spoiled child was riding high with a spotless 17-0 record. Just don't tell anyone that this win streak was built off cans in the finest tradition of Michael Page. But hey, whatever.
It's always hard when you have these guys that are in the top 10, when you start going 7, 6, 5, 4, and then this guy's behind. Nobody wants to take that risk on a guy that isn't ranked. It's tough. Those are the fights that publicly everybody says they'll take, but privately nobody wants to take them.
In August 2024, he actually beat the ranked number 2 Corey Sandhagen. And no joke, that was impressive W for an up-and-coming prospect. And right after that, Umar suddenly decided he was ready for a title fight.
yes, I'm planning to go to the fight, and I don't want to name one guy or the other guy because I don't want the other guy to think that I'm trying to avoid fighting him. So yes, of course, I would be very happy to fight both of them, and the goal is to fight the winner.
Thanks to his famous last name, and only because of that, he was undeservedly handed a title shot, despite his only ranked win being against the Sandman.
Just finalized last night, the co-main event will now be a bantamweight title fight. Merab came into the office late last night, told us that he is tired of listening to Umar disrespect him and wanted to make this fight happen as soon as possible. We called Umar. He was sleeping in Dagestan, and he said, hell yes, anywhere, anytime.
The newly crowned champ Merab Dvalishvili, who had won the belt in September 2024, simply wanted to rest, heal from injuries, and enjoy his hard-earned glory for just a little while. But the UFC brass forced him to accept a fight, booked for January 2025 as the co-main event of UFC 311. And being drunk on his own hype, the spoiled little baby started throwing dirt on the champ's name, calling him a coward. And he wasn't exactly mincing words either.
Наверное, то, что я могу бороться, и я могу там защититься от их даунов, и я сам могу повалить. Наверное, этот факт. Я не такой же боец, с которым он расстался до этого. Не односторонний. Например, взять Умели, я считаю, что это боец, которого нету должных навыков по вольной борьбе, например, он не может защищаться. И может, именно поэтому он и избегал этот бой. I really don't know why he's talking about disrespect. Of course, I tweet, but I didn't talk you the like liar, or I didn't tell you the like bad person or something. I talk about fight. I thought, hey, Merab, you try to avoiding me. You doesn't mention my name. It's look like insane. Everybody talk about that. After his fight, when he win belt, Joe Rogan said next opponent, Umar, what do you think about that? And he doesn't say nothing. He just said thank you, Dana White. All hype around, he ducking, he tried to avoid it. It's not because of I do this. He do this. It's his mistakes.
Now, don't get me wrong. It's great to see even the once humble mountain boys finally embracing the fine art of trash talk. But what Umar was doing, that wasn't trash talk. That was straight up lowbrow insults, smothered in his signature brand of humbleness.
Like, in fight can happen anything. I don't know about takedown, about something else, but he will never beat me. He don't have skills for beat me.
Whatever you say, why you disrespect?
Because I won't.
Why you can do? Why you disrespect? What? Come here. Bravo.
Because I won't. What you can do?
What? I will show you what I'm gonna do. I will show you.
On fight night, everyone was expecting a complete and utter domination from the young eagle. But how did things actually turn out in the end? Well, let's just say, reality hit harder than a flying knee from Jorge Masvidal. Let's be honest, this is a fight you absolutely need to watch for yourself from start to finish. It's worth every second of your attention. But to keep it short, Umar flew a little too close to the sun and got brutally grounded by the Georgian cardio machine. The champ didn't let this loudmouth even sniff his belt. This was one of those rare fights where Merab actually made wrestling exchanges entertaining, even for the average viewer. He wiped the canvas with Umar and made it crystal clear. There's levels to this game. Oh well, if Umar had Merab's cardio, he would have won. Yeah? And if my grandma had balls, she'd be my grandfather, but she doesn't.
I don't think I lose this fight, but alhamdulillah, any position. And after first round, I can't punch because I think I broke my hand. And games go like other way,
Yeah, кстати, вот последний бой я так и принял. He nervous, of course he nervous. Maybe he upset with UFC. They pushed him to fight with me. Да, кстати, вот последний бой я так и принял. Это сейчас не оправдание, это просто факт. Я проиграл.
5 minutes later.
Если бы Всевышний захотел бы для меня победы, у меня рука не сломалась бы. Судьбы не отдали бы туда. Например, первый раунд, как судья мог туда отдать? Например, и третий раунд.
Look, Umar is young, and he still fits that classic label. He's got time, he's got potential, he'll bounce back. and maybe he will, but if he keeps underestimating opponents while acting like he already runs the division, he's not staying in that top 5 for long. What do you think? Will these guys be able to bounce back? And if not, why do you think Bo Nickal will be the one to fall even harder? Leave your thoughts in the comments below.